The great Stoic thinker Epictetus once remarked, "The key is to associate with those who elevate you, whose presence inspires your best self." You've likely come across the adage, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Today, we'll delve into this idea through the perspective of Stoicism. We'll identify 7 kinds of people who can hinder your journey towards Stoic virtue and discuss how to manage these relationships effectively. Type 1, the complainer. We all know someone, a friend, relative, or coworker, who seems to have a knack for criticizing everything, whether it's the weather, their job, or the food at a top-rated restaurant. They never miss an opportunity to voice dissatisfaction. Why should this bother you, you may think? I'll just ignore it. But it's rarely that simple. Prolonged exposure to negativity can subtly sap your mental energy, much like a dripping faucet drains a reservoir over time. Stoicism emphasizes focusing on actionable solutions rather than ruminating on problems. For instance, if you're working on a project with someone who perpetually complains, every meeting might devolve into a frustrating list of grievances. This negativity can lower morale, delay progress, and dampen your enthusiasm for both the task and life itself. So, how can Stoic principles help? Start by limiting your interactions with this person when possible. If avoiding them isn't feasible, say they're a colleague or close relative, then create mental distance during their complaints. Treat their words as passing storms, disruptive but fleeting and powerless against your inner peace. Another strategy is to redirect the conversation toward constructive topics. For example, if they're venting, steer the discussion toward solutions or shift the focus to something positive. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By safeguarding your mental equilibrium, you ensure that the negativity of chronic complainers doesn't lead you astray from the Stoic path of resilience and virtue. Type 2, the drama magnet. Picture your life as a ship sailing through calm waters, only to be disrupted by the whirlpool that is the drama magnet. This person always seems to attract chaos, endless crises, conflicts, and controversies. At first, their energy might seem captivating, perhaps mistaken for passion or excitement, but soon you realize their presence is more like navigating a storm, exhausting and perilous. What makes drama magnets particularly challenging is their tendency to draw you into their vortex. Their problems begin to feel like your own, and you may find yourself entangled in disputes that had nothing to do with you initially. Take this example. A friend constantly falling out with others in your social circle. One day, they're not speaking to Sarah, the next, it's Tom. Despite your efforts to mediate, you find yourself inadvertently at odds with these people too. How can you deal with this? Try reflective listening. Acknowledge their feelings without offering advice or taking sides. If they say, "I can't believe Sarah said that," respond with, "So, you're feeling hurt by her words?" This approach shows empathy without becoming entangled. Another tactic is to set boundaries by becoming selectively unavailable. Allocate time for focus or personal development and let others know you're unavailable during those periods. Seneca wisely said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." Focus on navigating your own journey, avoiding whirlpools of unnecessary drama. Type 3, the naysayer. Imagine you're an artist painting a masterpiece. Each brush stroke adds life and vibrancy to your vision. Then comes the naysayer, quick to critique. "Are you sure about that color?" Or, "Most artists never succeed." Their negativity isn't constructive criticism, but rather a constant cloud of doubt. For example, you might be excited about a new career path. You've researched, planned, and even taken initial steps. Yet when you share your enthusiasm with the naysayer, they point out all the reasons you'll fail. How do you counter this? One strategy is to engage them in a way that reframes their perspective. Instead of passively receiving their doubts, ask for solutions. How do you think someone can succeed in this field? Shifting the conversation to problem solving can neutralize their negativity. Another approach is to reflect on Epictetus's wisdom. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we may listen more than we speak. Hear them out, but don't absorb their pessimism. Let their doubts pass through like a gust of wind. Your vision is your own. Don't let anyone dull your masterpiece with their shades of gray. Type 4, the victim. Life is a chess game, where each player makes decisions to move forward. The victim, however, sees the board as stacked against them, blaming external forces for every setback. Their narrative revolves around being wronged. I can't get promoted because my boss dislikes me, or I'll never be fit because of bad genetics. Whilst some challenges are genuine, the victim uses these as excuses to avoid accountability. You may find yourself cast as their rescuer, constantly offering advice or support. But Stoicism warns against becoming entangled in such narratives. Instead, practice compassionate detachment. Listen empathetically, but avoid solving their problems for them. Marcus Aurelius advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." Maintain your agency, and remember, being in checkmate is often a choice, not a fate. Type 5. The toxic positivists. These individuals insist on relentless cheerfulness, dismissing your struggles with hollow platitudes. Imagine tending a garden with both flowers and weeds, but the toxic positivist only acknowledges the blooms. When you're facing challenges, their advice might sound like, just smile and move on. While seemingly uplifting, this attitude invalidates your feelings. A balanced approach involves acknowledging both the positive and negative aspects of life. If they urge you to look on the bright side, you can respond, "Yes, I'm grateful for X, but I also need to process Y." Seneca reminds us, true happiness lies in embracing the present without anxious dependence on the future. Recognize life's complexities and nurture your emotional garden with balance. Type 6. The manipulator. Your life is your story, but manipulators try to rewrite your script. They use flattery, guilt, or deceit to steer you toward their goals. If someone consistently takes advantage of your kindness, employ strategies like fogging. Acknowledge the truth in their words without yielding to their demands. As Epictetus taught, we cannot control external circumstances, but we can control how we respond. Reclaim your narrative and let your values guide your choices. Type 7. The time vampire. These individuals rob you of your most precious resource, time. It might be a coworker interrupting your focus or a friend demanding constant attention. To combat this, employ techniques like time bleaking or simply learning to say no. Seneca wisely observed, "Life, if well lived, is long enough to protect your schedule as fiercely as your peace of mind." As we close, remember, it's not just about recognizing these traits in others, but reflecting on whether we embody them ourselves. Growth begins with self-awareness, and Stoicism encourages us to align our choices with virtue and wisdom. May your actions reflect resilience, your thoughts embrace clarity, and your life become the masterpiece it's meant to be.